Being in this online space, trying to build a healing or coaching business isn't always easy. It's noisy. There's a lot of advice out there. There's a lot of you should do this and you should do that. And there's a lot of one tactic approaches. And there's a lot of these so-called overnight successes. And what I've learned over the last several years in being in this space and helping people build businesses is that there's a lot more to it than that. You need to know who you are. You need to know what you want. You need to be willing to stand for it. And you need a plan. You need to have some sort of plan in place and a strategy. Now, I don't believe in cookie cutter strategies. I believe in creating a sandbox for your intuition to play in. However, you need something in place so that you know which direction to go. So in this episode, I talk a little bit about that, some of those core pieces that we need to put in place. I'll see you inside the show. What seeds are you planting for your future? Are you planting seeds of always doing what you choose to do? Are you planting seeds of sovereignty, of being in your power and really making solid decisions for yourself because you trust yourself and you're ready to take action? Or are you doing things because you think you should? Or are you doing things out of obligation? Or are you still doing things that you hate? I used to be a virtual assistant. So I worked in the background behind the scenes of so many coaches' businesses, building the technology, the websites, the funnels, all the stuff. And in that, what I realized was how much I hated that work. I was good at it, but I did it because I could make money doing it. I did it because it was a skill set that I had, but it wasn't a skill set that really leaned on my strengths. And so I kept doing it because I needed the money, or so I thought. I kept doing it from a place of obligation. What would my clients do without me? And I put energy behind these things that were not part of the bigger dream. I did not dream of sitting behind my computer for 17 hours a day, 7 days a week, hustling and grinding and having adrenal fatigue. This was not my dream. And yet I kept feeding that dream. I kept staying focused on that dream. And so my question to you is, what dream are you feeding? There's this old story. I'm trying to come up with the word. There's this old story about how we all have two wolves. Which wolf are you feeding? Are you feeding the dream of, I can do anything, I believe in myself, I value these things, and so I choose to take action upon these things? Or are we still feeding the dream of, I don't have enough time, I don't have enough money, I'm scared, I'll do that when, I'll be happy when, I'll build a business when? What seeds are you feeding and nurturing? It's springtime here where I live. And so I'm planting seeds literally and figuratively. And as I'm out in the backyard, I'm planting things that aren't in flower yet. I'm not sure if they're going to make it through the cold nights. I'm not sure if some of the seeds that I've planted are even going to rise up out of the soil. And as I'm planting them, I am setting the intention of the dream becoming true, of my backyard looking incredible, of flowers everywhere and hummingbirds and bees and this teeming life in our backyard. Well, I'm also planting those figurative seeds in my business, and I don't know if there are things that are going to sprout as we lean into the unknown and the fear of what might occur or what might not occur. We must continue to choose to focus and feed and nurture the seeds that we desire. So what do I mean by seeds? I mean your values. What's most important to you? What are those key driving forces in your life that make you want to take action? So many people that I work with, they don't know their top values, or their values change, or they compromise their values because of obligations to other people, because they are doing something they hate doing, and yet they think they need to in order to make the money or somehow get through life. Well, this life wasn't meant to just be gotten through. We are meant to live extraordinary lives. So do you know what your top values are? Do you know the values of your business? Do you know the values that drive you forward and help you take action? That would be my suggestion on where to start. If you find yourself caught up in obligation to other people's dreams, if you are not doing things in your business that light you up, ask yourself, what's most important to me? And why am I choosing to do things that aren't in alignment with that? And if you do know your values and you are taking action on those, then ask yourself, how can I do a little bit more? How can I choose to live in alignment with these values a little bit more? Food for thought, enjoy, go sit in your backyard or wherever lights you up and contemplate what's most important to you in your life and in your business. Are you ready for the long haul for your dream? Are you ready to believe that it's not about instant gratification and that this whole building a business, being a healer, being a coach, making the money that you deserve and desire is a marathon and not a sprint? Us humans, we love instant gratification. And believe me, I am prone to this too. I love instant gratification. Who doesn't? And yet, this coaching business is a trust and relationship based business. It takes time. It takes commitment. It takes the ability to show up not only for your clients, but for you. It takes standing true to your values and your integrity and speaking your truth. It's not easy. You're going to piss some people off. You're going to rock the boat, but you're going to stand for your convictions and your beliefs. And in doing so, you may have people leave your experience. You may have lots of people come into your experience. You may have times where it feels dried right up and there's no money coming in and you don't know where your next client is coming from. And then the next, you've got clients knocking down your door and they can't wait to work with you. And then you're going to question yourself, can I handle all this? It's constant, right? This entrepreneurial journey is a roller coaster and it is a marathon, not a sprint. So many times I see clients of mine, coaches who are putting offers out there really quick. I just need a quick cash influx. I just need to throw something out. I haven't promoted anything in a while, and so I need to throw something out. No, you need a plan. I liken this to having a sandbox for your intuition to play in, because I know you're intuitive. You love to create. You want to just put something together and move that out into the world. But if you don't have something sustainable, then you're going to constantly have to recreate the wheel and throw spaghetti at the wall in the hopes that something's going to stick. Instead of having a solid plan based on your values, your beliefs, your convictions, being willing to stand for your message and being very clear and committed to that message for this to stand the test of time. If you're a coach who is constantly putting out different offers and changing things all the time, number one, your audience doesn't know what you're doing. And number two, your audience doesn't trust you because it looks like you don't trust yourself. Well, I threw up that offer, that didn't work. So now I'm going to try this. And that didn't work. So now I'm going to try this. You've got to have consistency. And I know you're creative and you want to play and you want freedom and sovereignty. And this whole word consistency sounds like bleh, gross. And yet it is a requirement. If you want the financial freedom that comes with a coaching business, you must be committed to your values, committed to speaking your truth, and committed to standing up and showing up day after day after day, committed to your offer and the transformation that you provide, period. So if you don't have a plan in place, get one. If you don't know what it looks like to figure out your values and stand in your truth and be brave enough to rock the boat a little bit, and you don't have a plan in place, invest in yourself. Invest in a coach, invest in working with someone. Everything is a mirror. And if you're not investing in yourself and your growth and your business development, guess what? Nobody's going to invest in you. The first investment I ever made was a 10,000 US dollar investment. I had no money. I was living PayPal to PayPal, borrowing from the bank of mom. I was broke. I had no idea how I was going to pay my rent. And I made a $10,000 investment. And guess what? I had a 6-figure year that year. Everything is energy. And when we choose to invest in ourselves, to stand for our convictions, when we are committed to ourselves and what we want and our dream, everything starts to come true. But you've got to do the work. You've got to take responsibility. You've got to make the decision that you are choosing your dream and not deferring to someone else's. That you're not going to compromise your dream because of some excuse that you don't have money, you don't have time, you don't have whatever it might be. You have everything you need available to you. All you got to do is take the blinders off and see the possibility that's available for you. So, stand for your values. Number one, understand what your values are. Be willing to rock the boat and stand with conviction for those values and take action upon them and have a plan in place. Are you afraid to rock the boat? Are you afraid to speak your truth? If you've got an opinion about something, if you've got this really strong opinion about something that's occurring in your world or in your business or in your industry, if you're a healer or a coach and you're seeing something happen, do you sometimes catch yourself in this place of like, I don't want to stir the pot. I don't need to have an opinion about that. I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings. And so you keep your mouth shut. I used to do this for forever, recovered people pleaser over here. I used to be that person that I didn't want to make waves. I wanted everybody to like me. I wanted everybody to think that I was amazing, right? And we've got this concept of this judgment and comparison that goes around. I'm afraid people will judge me, or I'm afraid that people will compare themselves to me. And when we have true sovereignty, when we know our value and we know what's most important to us and what's not important to us, then we need to stand with conviction in that. We need to be willing to create the change in the world that we want to see. One of my biggest beliefs is that we need to eradicate spiritual poverty. And for a long time, I was afraid to say it. I was afraid to say that we as healers, coaches, spiritual teachers need to make more money because I didn't want to talk about money because I also had my own spiritual poverty mix-ups. I didn't want to talk about money because it felt like it wasn't quote unquote spiritual. I didn't want to talk about money because it stirred up people's guilt, shame, frustrations. It stirred up the money story in everyone that I came across. And I didn't want to create waves. I didn't want to rock the boat. I wanted everybody to just like what I posted. But here's the thing. As I posted really generic, really soft content, I stopped showing up in my true value. I stopped showing up as I am. I wasn't expressing my true, authentic truth. And less people looked at my content. Less people read my posts. I got less engagement because they could tell from a mile away that I wasn't being true to my beliefs and my values. I hold a core value of wealth, and I believe that when good people in this world make money, we do damn good things with our money. And so I am passionate about the eradication of spiritual poverty on this planet. I think that if you are a healer, you should be making lots and lots and lots of money. That you should stop charging $20 for a workshop and start charging what you're worth. I believe that no matter who you are or what you're doing on this planet, if you are a good person, you deserve to be making more money. And I believe that you deserve to be standing in your truth, expressing from that place. If we want to make change in this world, we've got to stand for that change. We've got to shout from the rooftops about that change. We've got to stand for it, believe in it, be conviction, have conviction around it, be committed to it, and being willing to stand for it in the face of adversity, in the face of polarity. If somebody doesn't agree with what you're saying, so be it. One of the things that I've learned over the years in posting a lot of content on social media and being in this online space, every time I get a hater, I cheer myself and that hater on because everything in this experience is a mirror. And when somebody is a hater, quote unquote, on me, I know that I've expanded and grown and that I've taken another step towards standing for my authentic truth. So if you're afraid of rocking the boat, if you're afraid of making waves, know that the only way we create the change we want to see in the world is to rock the damn boat. So, are you willing, based on your core values and who you are and what you want? Are you ready for the change? Are you ready to stand in your truth, be integral to your beliefs, and rock the damn boat?